Hello dear students, once again welcome back. Students, as we have already covered the first three parts of solid state, and in today's class we will be covering the fourth part of solid state. So let us begin today's class. See, in today's class first we are going to discuss about the packing fraction and packing efficiency in a crystal structure. See, we know that in a crystal structure the constituent particles like atoms, ions or molecules, they are arranged in different ways. Just now we have seen in our previous classes. So as they are arranged in different ways, there are some space or some vacant space are left behind. Now what we call them? We call them as a voids. Okay. Now there are different types of voids we have learned, that is tetrahedral void and octahedral void. Right. Now packing efficiency is the percentage of total space that has been occupied by the constituent particles. What percentage of space in a crystal lattice is occupied by the constituent particles like atoms, ions or molecules? We call them as a packing efficiency. Okay. Now in order to calculate the packing efficiency, we have to write this formula, that is volume occupied by atom, a particular atom, upon volume of a unit cell into 100. Now after writing this, we will get the value of packing efficiency. How efficient is a crystal? So it can be calculated if we know that how closely they are packed. If more closely they are packed, it means their efficiency is more. If there are more number of voids, or if there are much vacant space, we can say that the crystal is less efficient, right? Now this is the packing efficiency, and packing fraction is nothing but it is simply the volume occupied by the atoms upon volume of the unit cell. Now if we multiply this with 100, we will get the efficiency of a crystal. Now the next one is a void percentage. Now if we have to find out that how much percentage of the space is remained vacant or empty in a crystal, so we have to write this formula, that is 100 minus packing efficiency. We will get the value of void percentage, right? So you have to remember these three because these are going to be very important in case of solving the numericals. The next one is, okay, now before finding out the efficiency, first we have to know the relation between the edge length and atomic radius. Okay, now first we have to find out it for the simple cubic unit cell. So students, you have seen the structure of simple cube. It has 8 constituent particles or 8 atoms present in the corner of the unit cell. Now here we have taken the top view of the unit cell. See, here you can see that these spheres are in contact with each other, right? Now we have to find out the relation between edge length and radius of a unit cell. See, here A is called as edge length and R is the radius of the unit cell. Now what is here the atomic radius? See students, this small r is called as the atomic radius of a unit cell. These atoms are taken in the form of hard sphere which are in contact with each other, right? Now this is the first sphere and r is atomic radius, and this is the second sphere and this r, small r, is the atomic radius. You know what is atomic radius? It is the distance from the center of the nucleus to the outermost shell of an atom, right? So if we find out the relation between this r and this edge length, we can simply write that A is equal to 2r. As it is clear from this picture that this is called as A, edge length of a unit cell, right? And this is the atomic radius of 2 sphere. So it is equal to 2r. So this is the relation between edge length and atomic radius in case of simple cubic unit cell, right? So first part is over. Now see the next one. In case of body centered cubic unit cell, right? Now we have to find out the atomic radius in BCC structure. So first we have to know the structure of BCC. We have already learned that in BCC structure the atoms are present at the 8 corners plus 1 atom at the body of the unit cell. Now you can see here in this picture, this half represents the unit cell and this half is the one part of the unit cell. And you can see here in the center, the sphere is there and this represents the body cell. And this line we have drawn here, it's called as a body diagonal. You can see that these 3 spheres are in contact with each other, right? Now you can see, we know that A is the edge length and R is the radius. Now in this figure, you can see, first we have to take this triangle AED B, right? If we put a line here and join this AE, we will get a triangle that is AEB. Okay, now we have to apply the Pythagoras theorem here. See, AE square is equal to AB square plus BE square. Now we have to put the values of AB. See, AB is again an edge length A and BE is again an edge length A. So we write here A square plus A square. We will get the value of 2A square, right? Now if we have to consider this triangle AFE, right, or AEF, as we have already joined this line AE, so we consider this triangle AEF. Again we have to find out the value of this AF and apply by applying the Pythagoras theorem, right? So AF square is equal to AE square plus EF square. So what is the value of AE? Just now we have got it. It's 2A square, and then put the value of EF. It is the edge length A square. So we will get the value 3A square, right? Now AF is equal to A root 3. Upon solving this, we will get it A root 3. So we have got the value of AF. It is A root 3. Now see student, this AF, you can see here in this AF total 4 radius are there. See, the first radius is from this point to this of this particular sphere, that is 1, and in this center sphere or the body sphere we can see here 2 radius or 2R. That's one is from here to here center, and the next one is from this center to this end. So we got 2 here, 2R, and this is in the last sphere, again R. So all total we have got 4R. So we can write here AF is equal to 4R, right? Now what is the value of this AF? It's 4R, which is equal to A root 3. Just now we have got here AF is equal to 4 root 3. So AF value we have got in this equation, that is 4R. So 4R is equal to A root 3. We can write like this. Now from this we can calculate the value of R. Okay. Now R is equal to A root 3 by 4. Right. So this is the relation between edge length and atomic radius in case of BCC structure. Just now we have seen in the simple cubic, that is A is equal to 2R. In this case R is equal to A root 3 by 4, and from here we can calculate the value of A also. Now see the next one. In case of face centered cubic. Now in case of face centered cubic, what is its structure? We know that in case of face centered cubic, the atoms are present at the 8 corners and in each face of the cube. All total there are 6 faces. Okay. So here we have taken the one side of the face centered cube. Now you can see here that these atoms or these spheres are in contact with each other along with the face diagonal, face atom. If we put a line over this, or if we join the 2 corners atom including the face atom, we will get a straight line, and this is called as face diagonal, right? Now we have to find out the relation. See, again we have to take this triangle. This FD, this line is called as the face diagonal. So this FD square, again applying the Pythagoras theorem, FD square is equal to A square plus A square. Again A is the edge length, so we will get the value is equal to 2A, right? Now face diagonal is equal to root 2 over of 2A, which is equal to 4R. From here we can get the value of R. R is equal to root 2 by 4A. Okay, so we can calculate the value of A from here. So in this way we have to find out the relation between edge length and radius of a unit cell. So we have to learn these 3 values, right? Okay. Now the next is, now we can calculate the value of packing efficiency in simple cubic. So it is known to us what is the relation between the 3 structures. Just now we have seen. Now from using that relation we can calculate the packing efficiency in different crystal structures. So first we have to see in the simple cubic unit cell. Okay, you know the structure of simple cubic unit cell. See students, we have covered this topic in the previous class, that number of particles per unit cell in simple cube, it is equal to 1. Okay. Volume of the particle or the volume of the sphere. See, the sphere or the atom is in the form of circle, or it is in the form of sphere. So We know that the volume of a sphere is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube, right? Volume of a cube, okay, volume of a cube or a volume of a unit cell, which is equal to a cube, okay. So these are some basics, you have to know all these things, right? So the value of A we have just now find out, it is equal to 2r. A is equal to 2r for simple cube. So A is equal to 2r cube, okay. If we solve this, we will get 8r cube. Now packing fraction, what is the formula of packing fraction? It is the volume occupied by one atom upon volume of the unit cell. So volume occupied by one atom is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube upon a cube. This is the volume of unit cell, right? So it is 8r cube. After solving this, we will get pi by 6. We have to put the value of pi, that is 3.14, and divide it by 6, we will get the value 0.524. Now this is the packing fraction, but what we have to calculate? We have to calculate the packing efficiency, right? So packing efficiency, for calculating packing efficiency, we have to multiply this with the 100. Now after multiplying this with the 100, we will get the value 52.4%. So this is the packing efficiency in case of simple cubic, which is 52.4%. It means this much efficient is the crystal in case of simple cubic. Now the next one, packing efficiency in BCC structure. Again see the structure of BCC. 8 atoms present at the corners and 1 atom present at the center of the unit cell, which is called as the body atom. Now number of atoms, first we have to know what is the number of atoms in a body center. It is equal to 2. Okay. Now volume of the cube, again it is a cube, and what is the relation between the edge length and the unit cell? So it's given here, A is equal to 4r by root 3. Just now we have calculated for BCC. So these are the things which you have to remember while solving this packing efficiency. First is the number of atoms in case of BCC or in case of any crystal. Second, the relation between the edge length and radius of the unit cell, right? See, okay, now the volume of cube, it is known to us, a cube, which is equal to 4r by root 3. Volume of unit cell, it's 4r by, okay, volume of unit cell 4r by root 3 whole cube. Number of spheres in BCC, it is equal to 2. Okay, now we have to put this value. What is the formula for packing efficiency? Number of atoms in a unit cell upon, volume of atoms in a unit cell upon volume of the unit cell, volume of one atom. So what is the volume of one atom? It is your 4 by 3 pi r cube, okay. And what is now BCC? There are 2 atoms, so we have to multiply 2 with this 4. We will get 8 by 3 pi r cube, right? Now packing fraction, we have to put the values 8 by 3 pi r cube upon 64 r cube by 3 root 3. Upon solving this, we will get this value, right? So after solving this, we will get the value 0.68. This is packing fraction. Now packing efficiency, how can we get this value? If we multiply this 0.68 into 100, we will get 68%, right? So this is the packing efficiency in BCC. The last one is the packing efficiency in FCC, or face-centered cubic unit cell. Again students, the structure of FCC is that there are 8 atoms present at the corner and 1 atom present in each face of the cube. Okay, so packing efficiency, the formula is volume occupied by 4 spheres in the unit cell into 100 upon total volume of the unit cell. So in case of FCC, the total number of atoms per unit cell is 4, right? We have already calculated this in the previous classes. So the number of atom here is 4, right? And volume of one atom, which is equal to 4 by 3 pi r cube. And the next is the total volume of the unit cell, which is equal to the a cube. Now what is a cube here in case of FCC? Just write down the relation. A is equal to 2 root 2 r, okay, cube. Now see, put the values. Volume occupied by the 4 sphere. Here for FCC, the number of atom is 4 multiplied by volume of the unit cell, which is 4 by 3 pi r cube into 100. upon the volume of the unit cell. So it is A cube which is equal to A root 2 R whole cube, right? So after solving this, we will get 16 by 3 pi r cube into 100 upon 16 root 2 r cube. Now if we go on solving this, we will get the value of 74%. So in case of FCC, the packing efficiency is 74%. Now students, can you tell me that out of these three, which one is going to be more efficient? Right, it is your FCC, because here the packing efficiency is more. It means 74% is occupied by the constituent particles. Now if we have to find out the voids here, we can simply write 100 minus 74, we will get the value of voids here, right? In all the three cases, if you have to find out the voids, you can simply just subtract the value of packing efficiency with 100. You will get the value of your void percent. Okay, the next is the density of the unit cell. Students, now this is one of the most important topic, because you will get many numericals from this topic. Every time in the board exam, they ask at least one numerical from this particular topic. Okay, because here they will give you the questions like to find out the edge length, to find out the volume, okay, to find out the density. The rest values will be given to you, and they will ask to find out the edge length, volume and density of a unit cell. So you can do by knowing this relation, right? Now first see density of a unit cell. Now we all know the formula of density. It is equal to mass by volume. Mass of the unit cell upon volume of the unit cell. Now see, mass of a unit cell, what does it mean? Mass of the unit cell is equal to Z into M upon Na. Okay, now see, the mass will be given to you in kg or gram, but we have to convert it into the number of atoms. Okay, now what we have to do, in order to convert it into number of atoms, we have to divide it by the Avogadro's number. What is the value of Avogadro's number? It is 6.022 into 10 to the power 23 number of atoms, right? So mass of the unit cell is equal to Z into M upon Na. Here Z is the effective number of atoms per unit cell. Now for BCC, it is equal to 2. For simple cubic, it is equal to 1. And for FCC, it is equal to 4. So first you have to put the value of this effective number of atoms in a unit cell. Then the next is the molar mass. So here we have to write the molar mass. Many times it is given to you in the question, so no need to learn this. So molar mass will be given to you, and the value of Avogadro's number, right? So here it is written, Z is the effective number of atoms in a unit cell, M is the molar mass, and Na is the Avogadro's number. Now after putting these values, we will get the density. See, now density is equal to Z into M upon Na into A cube. Now the formula of density is mass by volume. Here we have put the value of mass, that is Z into M by Na, and volume of a unit cell is A cube. So we have got the density, right? So here they will give you the value of density and Avogadro's number, effective atomic number and molar mass, and they will ask you the edge length. Similarly, sometimes they will ask you the effective number of atoms, that which type of unit cell crystal lattice is this. So then you have to calculate the Z, and the rest other value will be given to you, right? So in this way they will ask the questions from this particular topic. See students, now here it is the last slide. You can see here the relation between the edge length and unit cell for simple cubic, body center and face center, along with the value of Z, that is effective atomic number, and packing efficiency, right? So you can see that face centered cubic structure has packing efficiency higher among all three, that is in case of simple cubic it is 52, body center 68, and in face center it is 74, right? So you have to write this table in your notebook and you just learn it very carefully, right? So this is all for today's class. I hope the topic would be clear to you. If you are having any doubt, please ask me in the comment section. So we will continue the last topic of this chapter in the next video. So thank you students.